Hello, welcome to Inspired Caring. I'm your host, Michelle Magner. If you are caring for an older family member, this is the podcast for you. Each week, I bring insight, tips, inspiration, and strategies to help you care for the people that you love without losing yourself along the way. Having cared for both of my grandmothers, I've helped manage everything from hospital stays, households full of belongings, to navigating senior living and end-of-life care. And I've worked in senior living as a result of that experience, serving my residents and their families as they've been on this journey too. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you enjoy this episode of Inspired Caring. Hey, welcome back. I hope you are enjoying your summer. We recently went camping. It was such a great weekend. It was so much fun. But something that happened on the way to the campsite is the inspiration for this podcast episode. So I wanted to just share it with you. We were all piled into the car. We have 3 kids, my husband and I, and heading to one of Nebraska's gorgeous state parks. And we were going along one of those 2-lane country highways. You know, they're kind of up and down and hilly and winding. And my husband, who was driving, suddenly said, "Whoa, did you see that?" And I was sitting right next to him. And I did not know what he was talking about. So I was like, "See what?" I mean, I had seen a white balloon float out of the window of the car in front of us. And which I thought was relatively uneventful, but I'm a mom, so like immediately, split second, I'm thinking, oh, some poor kid lost their balloon out the window. But he said, no, that white thing exploded and all this stuff blew out of it. And yeah, I totally did not see that. And then like seconds later, one of the kids from the back seat said, "Oh, Dad, did you see that bird in the field?" And of course, he didn't see that. So I just started laughing. I'm like, are we even on the same trip? Are we in the same car? Are we? It was just so weird. And I have really bad FOMO, fear of missing out. And I mean, I'm getting better about it, but I was like, oh my gosh, we're in the same car, headed to the same destination, seemingly on the same trip, but we're all having very different experiences. Which you're probably like, well, yeah, but I don't know. It was just the first time that it really hit me. And it made me think about how we feel as we're helping our aging family members and how so often it does not feel like we're on the same page, especially with the older person or other family members. Or maybe something happened and we all have slightly different recounts of what actually happened, but we're all very committed to our story and our truth of our version. Super interesting. So we're just all operating with our experience from our vantage point. Just like how we were sitting in the car, we were seeing slightly different things. I recently listened to a podcast episode of Dr. Wayne Dyer, and he said 2 things that really struck me. And I think it's how I try to operate, but and to remember this, but let's see what you think. He said one of them was everybody is doing exactly what they know how to do based on the conditions of their life. Of their life. Everybody is doing exactly what they know how to do based on the conditions of their life. And then the other one was stop evaluating where you are on the basis of where you think things ought to be. I'm going to say it again. Stop evaluating where you are on the basis of where you think things ought to be. And just for you right now, think about a situation that you're currently in. And I invite you to ponder those two bits of Dr. Dyer wisdom. I find that when I'm in those situations where it just does not feel like we're on the same trip, when I'm referencing my personal values and priorities and holding that as I'm looking at the situation, it helps me know if things are lining up for me to be my best self. And then I have to remember that the people around me, the people that I'm caring for, they have a different vantage point from where they're sitting, right? And their values and priorities may actually be different than mine, which is kind of mind blowing, right? So the goal would be to look for some common ground or look to the destination that you're all striving for. Maybe it's a baseline of safety. Everybody can agree that safety is the priority. Or maybe it is providing or having the best care possible. Maybe it's an opportunity to have more loving experiences together or to make a big decision. So just think about like, what is the end goal? What is the destination that you're hoping to reach together? Because ultimately, we do end up at that same destination. We were all going to get out of the same car at the same campground. So, regardless of how things are playing out along the way, regardless of the experiences that we're having, we're going to end up in that same destination. So, my hope is that you are able to take care of yourself along the way and feel calm and supported as you go. I'm really hoping that these podcast episodes are providing some tools and space for you to have clarity and support as you go. And maybe even experience something unique and fun along the way. There's room for that, doesn't all have to be so serious. We can have some laughter and fun along the way on these journeys too. We had such a great camping trip. It was so much fun. It was beautiful weather. We were with this incredible group of people. And I marveled at how different our recounts of the weekend were. I mean, we were definitely having some shared experiences and definitely collectively experiencing some relaxing family downtime, but still slight nuanced variations were coming up for everybody. So for that weekend, I felt a strengthening of our connection to each other as a family. And that's something that I truly value. That's one of my core values is connection, feeling connected. So I hope there's something in there that, makes you question or ponder or give you pause. And you're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. You really are. And I know we don't always hear that. And if your love language is words of affirmation like mine, it's nice to hear that every now and then. Thank you. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. And I hear you and I see you and I love you. And I look forward to being with you next week. See you then.